me to, it's not allowing. By the way, I didn't record this, so I may need to re-record this for you all. So anyway, it's not allowing any comments. So I'm sorry. I will get off of here and get back on so you guys can make comments if you want to. All right. So back to it. Like I said, Facebook is being a nerd today. Yeah, I'm just going to keep talking. Facebook is being a real nerd today. So, all right. So where was I? Somebody said amazing. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Fascinating and creative. Thank you. Thank you. Love the possibility. All right. So back to buying and selling and why. So what I'm going to share with you in case you think this is really great and you want to get into this is how the heck do you do it? Right? So let me, the first thing always, and this is in any case of anything you want to do, is you have to decide to do it. That is the first step. I'm going to give you 6 steps. Step number 1 is to decide you're going to do it. All right. And if you don't decide and you waver and whatever, you're never going to get into it. You're never going to explore it. You're never going to learn. What you focus on expands. That's just how energy works. It's how the universe blesses us. It's how we co-create. If you don't decide to do this, you won't. So you got to decide you're going to do it or not. And then the second step is you go ahead, and this is kind of like 2 things at once, but you want to go ahead and get the home, like identify the home and see how much money, how much you got to put into it for that flip. All right. And this, you might need somebody to help you. So if you go back, this is a deeper conversation. This is how you budget for it. But, and I can have that conversation with you if you decide later you're going to go down this road. But you want to put a budget of how much it's going to cost you to put money into it. Because if you're putting too much money into this home, you can buy it for $3. And if you put $300,000 in it and it only sells for $304,000 with a realtor and your team and everything, you're going to lose money. So you want to be sure that you have how much you're going to fix this house and an amount that you're going to fix it for. All right. And you can do that when you get a team. And that's part of the step. You need to have other people, contractors, painters, other people walk through that house. If you don't do that kind of stuff every day, which most of us don't, and just have them tell you how much, and then put that budget together. All right. And then once you've done both of those and you know the numbers work and you know this is a good opportunity, this is when you go find money. And this is when a lot of people panic and they go, oh no, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute, but I want to go through these 6 steps, and I hope you're writing this down, and hopefully the feed has started to work again. I don't know what's going on today. Hopefully we're back in the feed. It looks like we are. All right. So if you guys can on the Facebook feed can comment and it's allowing you, please do. So I know it's going on. I'm sorry to have this extra piece for those that are on the Zoom. So step number 3 is get the money. And I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. So number 1, you've decided you're going to do this. You've gotten the home and you've done a budget for your repairs and, budget for everything. How much is it going to cost for the realtor? How much, if you let it sit there for 90 days, most homes right now are not setting for 90 days, but because of what's happening with the market of financing, they might, So what if you let it sit there for 6 months? How much would it cost you? Those kind of things. All right. So then the money, then you start finding the money, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Step number 4 is make sure you have a team. And some of you that play with me, there's a couple of people on here who have played with me in other parts of the country, looking at maybe renovating a house, maybe building a house or something like that. I always say I do not have a team in that area, and I will not move forward until I have a team and I know the team can perform. The team is just like any other business. Your team is your backbone, is your heart, is your, it's really what you rely on. And so you have got to make sure you get a team. Now, is it going to be a problem? In some places it is right now, although that's changing very, very quickly with the housing markets. That's changing because, you know, some of these contractors are busy, but once you start working with the contractors, it gets easier and easier. So basically on the team, you want to have a basic, really good fix-it guy. All right. Some of you might be that fix-it person, or it's a fix-it person. It could be a woman or a man. And you want to have, you know, that fix-it person who knows how to paint, who knows how to do basic stuff, who can like evaluate, is this a load-bearing wall? Can you knock this wall out? You know, and who knows other people that they could call who are plumbers, electricians, and all of that. And somebody who's responsive and not showing up drunk and all that kind of stuff. So you just kind of find that person. And many of you have lived in the same place for a while and you want to do this where you live. You know those people. They come to your house already. They're already there. A lot of times if you don't, you can ask realtors, and the realtors who's representing you often know them. I mean, Lisa's on here and I've played with her a little bit in this game, and she knew of people that I could interview, right? So making sure you have a team, step number 4, is so important. Once you've got all this together, you've done your budget, you've decided you're going to do it, you found the home, you know, you got your money, make an offer, make an offer. Now listen, sometimes your offer isn't accepted. And don't get so emotionally involved with it. You are always, know this going into it, and this is step number 6, is there is always another opportunity. Always another home somewhere. There's always another one somewhere. And this is a real point where so many people who are doing this get into trouble. They get attached to that one house, like it's their house, they're personally going to live in and whatever. And when it's not, you know, maybe their offer didn't get accepted, then they keep raising the money, raising the price that they're going to pay for it, or they keep like pushing the rock uphill. It's like any business. When you start to push a rock uphill, it's a sign. It is a sign from the universe. The universe is the one who picks up the rocks and moves mountains, not you. When you're pushing too hard and you're trying too hard and you're, you know, getting into all kinds of machinations and problems, there's something else that's going on. And if you're in this game to flip or whatever, you can let it go. So, I'll give you a story. I'm going to actually use my beach house story for two of these pieces that I'm teaching to today. So recently I'm driving down the road where I own a beach house already in Oak Island, North Carolina, and I'm renovating that beach home. And while it was being renovated, they were putting in tile on the backsplash of my home that I have, my second home that I live in. And I saw this sign of this auction for a house. So I went, you know, riding down the street and I saw the house and it was like, oh, I don't know what's wrong with that house. Because oftentimes when houses are for auction, there's like a lot of problems. And so I kind of left it alone, went back home, got ready to leave the next day, and everything in me pushed me to go down that road. It was like a nudge. By the way, don't ignore the nudge when you see a house or you're interested in something, or you're interested in anything that's in your prosperity world. Don't ignore the nudge. Write that down. So I get going down the road and I have to go home. I'm taking my son somewhere. And I call my realtor and I say, can you check into this auction, blah, blah, blah. And it's Lisa. I'm going to disclose it's Lisa. She's fabulous. If you want to buy a beach house, work with her. So Lisa starts making phone calls and she's wonderful and absolutely goes over the top, just beautiful, beautiful. And finds out the auction's the next day, gets us on the list. And I said to the universe, now, beach houses are expensive, right, guys? Beach houses are expensive. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing? I already have a house that's like $500,000 that I'm paying for. What am I doing? Do I really have the money to buy another house down here at the beach and then renovate it too? What am I doing? And then all the rules that I just told you came to me. And I also said at that moment, if this is meant to be, it will be easy. and I'm going to follow easy. And at some point, if there's red flags or I'm pushing the rock uphill or this becomes awful, I'm out. And so I went in, I had my contractor down there go look at it. I set my budget, blah, blah, blah. And I was ready. I'm going, actually I wasn't there. My realtor, Lisa, wonderful woman, goes and to the auction for me, and her husband also, who may be sitting next to her, went with her. And they go to the auction and they're making bids. And lo and behold, we end up with the top bid for this house, this auction house. All of a sudden, I'm like standing there and I'm like, oh my God, it's like $400,000 I've got to come up with. And I am not, I don't want to go like, cash out everything I own. That's ridiculous. Don't do that, guys. Don't use your own money and make yourself stressed out. Don't do that. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. This is going to be easy. I'm going to believe all of that. And the next morning, I'm getting ready to call some of the lenders. I know the hard money lenders, and I'm calling in people to invest, this is all part of the story. I'm going to tell you in just a minute, finding the money. Now, what I did I not worry about the money? No, I went and made an offer on this house. I trusted, I put a budget together. I knew the money was there. I also knew there would always be another one, and I moved forward. All right. I didn't wait until I had everything, every dime counted. This is important. This is important in your world everywhere. If you're waiting until you have the money to get coaching, until you have the money to, whatever, do what you've always wanted to do, until you have the money to whatever, you are not ever going to do it, because money needs a leader. And when you become a leader, now I'm coaching, guys. I'm not teaching real estate right now. I'm teaching you money stuff, money mindset. When you become a leader of your money, money will follow. That's why decision is so important. If you decide you're going to hire me as a coach, the money for it will come. And we'll have the conversation. We'll figure that out. If you decide you're going to buy a house that's $400,000, the money will come. Okay. But you've got to be in the space of not pushing the rock uphill. That's where you get into trouble. When you start trying to push things in and it's not working out, leave it alone. All right. So I go to this, actually Lisa goes to the auction. We're top bidders. And the next day, I knew I was top bidder. And then I was like, okay, let's find the money. I start calling my investor friends, start calling hard money people. I start putting the project together, start negotiating with my team about what they'll let me do, all that kind of stuff. And then the next day, the person comes back and they want more money for this. They said the owner, they had the right of refusal if it wasn't enough money, and they decided it wasn't enough money for them. And so they were trying to negotiate into the 500s or $500,000. And listen, that was my opportunity to push a rock uphill. I knew my budget on this. I had already gone over my budget a little bit because someone decided to invest while we were standing there at the auction. But I knew I was pushing it, and I knew I was pushing my proceeds, and I knew I was pushing myself, and it became not easy. And so when they came back to me and they wanted that kind of money, even though I knew that I could probably make it work, I said, no, it's getting too hard. I'm out. Now I left that whole deal because there were red flags there, because it was getting too hard. And in another time in my life, it would have felt hard. It would have been stressful. It would have been like the next thing and fighting. And I might have made the mistake and lost money, because I've done that. So I just said to, Lisa, I'm sorry, I'm out. I did give another offer to them about what we could do, another way to put it together. They didn't want that. And I was like, you know what, I'm not doing this. I'm out. I'm okay. I've got, there's always another one. And that is true. Please write this down in this world. If you get too emotionally connected, really in any world you're in business with, if you get too emotionally connected of getting a client on or having 20 people show up for your course or, whatever it is, and the universe has another plan, it's so much better and easier and relaxing to go with that other plan. All right. And not to push things uphill. But also, Liliana is on. Hey, Liliana, I've seen you in a long time. Don't ignore the nudge about anything in life. If you're getting a nudge to become a coach, damn it, become a coach. All right. All right. So I've given you the 6 steps. Again, these are the steps to flipping successfully. Decide you're freaking going to do it. Find a home and do a budget for the renovation and the flip. How much are you going to pay everybody? How much is it going to cost, right? If the numbers make sense, according to what you can sell that, you got to find out what you can sell it for. A realtor can help you with that. It's called comps. If that makes sense, then you move forward. And that's when you go find money, get your team involved. And then when you know you've got kind of the money working out and you got a team's really important, then's when you make an offer. All right. And then you make an offer based on what works for you and your financial situation and your calculation on what you're going to do with the house, all of that. Not what your realtor wants you to do, not going up above and beyond because you want this so bad. Know that there's always another one. That's step number 6. Everybody got that? Somebody say yes. Somebody say yes to me. Somebody talk to me. You guys are texting now. All right. So finally, the last thing I'm going to talk about now is getting into it. How do you get the money for this? And this is what a lot of you guys tuned into. I mean, you were interested in this. It sounded really good. But how do you do this? So I'm going to talk to you about ways that I have done this. So I'm going to use the beach house as part of this story, but I'll probably use other ways that I've done this because I've probably done. A hard money lender asked me yesterday or the day before how many projects I have done. And I think I've done about 40 flips, 40 or so that I can count. All right. So anyway, I have a lot of experience in this. Let me just say this to you. Write this down. There is always a way when it comes to money and real estate. There is always a way. If it works and you've gotten the nudge, especially if you've gotten the nudge and you're feeling it and your numbers work, there's always a way because there's people out there that get when you're working the numbers and you're doing this, they get it. It works. They want to be part of it because they want to receive benefit, right? They want some money, right? So here's some ways that I've done it. So one, you can find somebody that you know who's selling their house. All right. Somebody that maybe is having a hard time, or maybe they inherited the house, or there's all kinds of situations. We all know somebody who's selling their house. And if it's somebody that maybe owns the house out and out, or they have a lot of equity in the house, or they've owned it for a long time and they're not looking to move, they're just, whatever the situation is, they may well work with you. They may well loan you the money to do it, and you give them some money back when you sell it. All right. I've done that, and you don't even put any money in. This man that lived next door to me here in Salisbury knew that I had renovated houses, and he was really pleased with the job that I had done. And he decided he wanted to move into a retirement home. And he walked over to my house one day and he said, "Would you consider buying my house?" And I just said, Mr. Span, I can't do it because I won't offer you, market rate. And there's some work that needs to be done in your house, and I'm going to have to do that. And he was like, "I know, I want you to take it and you do it. And I'll, you give me some money when you do it on the back end, and I'll just, we'll work this out. Because I want you to do it, and I know you do a good job, and it'll help the neighborhood, and I know I'm going to get the money. I've known you for 15 years. I live next to you, and I can move into the retirement house. Even if I have a contract on this house, I can move into the retirement home." So we did that. I sold the thing in about, I renovated. It's beautiful. Oh my God. It just turned out a beautiful, probably because we loved each other so much and we loved the house so much and we just had love going on there. I did not put any money into that house initially. I did get a construction loan, and we can talk about this. There's different kinds of loans that you can get if you present the numbers. And I did get a construction loan to do the renovations. Although I could have put them on a credit card if I wanted to. And I sold the house in about 60 days before I was done. So I had money coming in and I was finishing it. Isn't that beautiful? You can do it that way. You can also go to family or friends and ask them to give you a loan for 90 days so that you can put a down payment on this house, or you can do the renovations. And a lot of times people like seeing the house. They like seeing what you're doing. You can tell them the plans. You can tell them, you can even write out like an agreement with them. And I've done that many times. In fact, the house I bought just last week, I had somebody send me a back channel DM saying she wanted to be an investor. So people get it, that they're going to get money back. They get it, they're going to be part of something. So you can go to family or friends, or you can get another loan. And if your family or your friends invest, you could start having them invest for an entire year and put this whole thing together. And you're not using any of your money. They're putting their money in very willingly, and they get something back, right? They get like 5% or, 10% or something like that on the money they've invested. And I've had no problem people doing that with me, none. You could use your tax refund. If you decide this year that you want to go ahead and start doing this, you could use your tax refund as a down payment, and then, maybe even use friends' money to renovate it, or your credit card, or many, many other different things. You also, now this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways that I'm telling you right now. You also could get a hard money lender. So write this down. A hard money lender is a short-term lender. They know this world. They know, especially when you're flipping, they're all in, they get it. They know what the market is. They're able for you can tell them what you're buying it for and how much renovation costs you're going to have. And then they also know the market and look at what it's going to sell for. And those are the 3 pieces of information. You don't even need to have great credit for this. You don't even need to have like a whole bank application. I've done it on a phone call in an hour. All right. And now their lending rate is higher. So they're going to charge you like a 12% interest or something like that. But it's for 90 days. You do this when you know you've got a good market, you can sell the house. And you're going to have to put just a little bit of money into it because they want to see you show up, but they fund the renovation and they fund buying the house. All right. And once you get a relationship with them, that's why I was saying you could borrow the money to do this first part, like, the first time with them, get your friends to help you out, or you guys go in together and do this. Once they get a relationship with you, they'll start funding 100%. Please listen to me. Hard money lenders, but you got to find really reputable ones. So ask your realtors, ask people like me, who those hard money, because there are some shysters out there. All right. Fund that flip. I should be their affiliate. Fund that flip is a great one. All right. You can also go get other loans for just 90 days. Short-term loans they get it. If you're doing real estate stuff, they get it. They can take that real estate. They can take it away from you if it doesn't work out. They like that. So you can get loans. You can also take a line of credit on your home. All right. So yes, you do sometimes have to show up with some money. Not much. It might be $3,000. It might be $5,000. And what you want to do is you want to reinvest some of that money for the next flip and the next flip, if this is what you want to keep doing. All right. Does this make sense? Somebody, type in, yes, I like this, or no, I'm confused. Type in what's going on with you. You guys that are on the Zoom with me. And I'm gonna present I'm gonna present my Prosper class to you that I want you to get into. But most of all, I was wanting to present this. Linda says she loves this. Lisa, my realtor, says she loves this too. There's always a way. Absolutely. Good GRU advice. I guess that's good advice. It's hard to type on these things. All right. There's always a way. There's several ways to do this. Those of you who signed up and registered for this will have the replay. The replay will be on the feed as well if you want to look at this. But here's the way that I would go about doing it if this was my very first one and I didn't have much money. I would go to friends and I would go to family and I would get my tax money and I would put together about, $5,000. I'd find a house that wasn't that expensive. If you live in California or you live in Hawaii or Alaska, you might have to go, to another state, and you can do this in any state. In fact, I'm going to Guatemala this week, like today, like after this, and I'm going to be doing this in Guatemala, guys. So you can do this in any kind of places. I've done it in all kinds of states. All right. So you don't have to be in your state. You go to a state, if you're really expensive and things are like $700,000 and 10% of $700,000 is 70,000 and you don't have it, then go to the nearby state or go somewhere else, right? So this is what I would do. I get a little bit of money together. I might have my family come in to do it together, or friends. Friends sometimes is easier, and just put our money together. Just get that down payment in, right? And then I would go and I would talk to somebody like me who's done this before, who could help me put the plan together, help me do it. And then I would go to a hard money lender and I would get the rest of the money. And I would make sure I had the best team ever, the best real estate agent, and all of those things. And I would get something that the money was there, $20,000 to $30,000 was in it at least. And then I would do this project. I would go into it thinking I'm learning every dang thing I can. I'm making a relationship with the hard money lenders, all of this stuff. Sell a home in 90 days, get out, take the money, distribute it to your friends. You may not have as much money the first time because you're trying to get into this and you're learning, and who doesn't need to put a little bit in to get something out, right? It's the law of compensation. And then I would move forward and I would use the money that I got off this first one to do the next one. And you're going to have already a relationship with a hard money lender who will be in there with you. All right. So anybody have a question? Vicki says she's done most of these deals, so that's good. She's experienced. I'm glad this has been helpful for people. What is really important to me is the idea that you prosper. I already shared this. And whether you do real estate or you do anything else, prospering is the biggest thing. So prosperity, many of you said, is freedom, and freedom comes with having money. Freedom comes from creativity. Joy comes from creativity, from running your own life, from doing it your way. And if this is one way you can do it, I'm glad to talk to you further. But what I'm more interested in is you being involved in creating your own prosperous life. And what does that mean? And I actually am offering a course that'll help you come up with your prosperity plan like I did, which has led me to come out of an extreme amount of debt, to not worry about whether or not I have coaching clients, to not worry about anything really, and be able to have a good income and good money and a good life, an excellent life, because I had clarity. You need coaching for this. You need leadership with that. You're being in a group that teaches you real things and masterminds with you, and not just concepts, not just theories, but real stuff. So I'm going to be also in this group, this Prosper group, going to be teaching about not just how do you think this way, but what are some options, like real estate? What are some options? All right. And you're going to be in my container, my love container of mindset, money magic, love, strategy, wisdom. I'm going to do whatever I can to help you obtain what you want in life. You're going to get total and complete clarity on your purpose in your lifestyle. I'm going to teach you these laws of the universe that I studied for years and years and years, and is what I access as the magic. It's not so much running the numbers that's the magic. It's following the nudges. It's being in the energy. It's being in the love space and learning how to manage that and how it really works for success. And I'm going to teach you how to do that so that you are not afraid. You're not afraid to invest. You're not afraid what to do next. You're not afraid to look at opportunities. You're not afraid there won't be any money later. You're not afraid that you don't have any money now. It's all okay. There's always a way. You're going to be a manifestor. You're going to be a manifestor mofo. And you're going to be around other people who are supporting you doing this, who are masterminding with you. And this is called my Prosper. It's called Prosper with an exclamation point. I'm not defining it in terms of prosper your money, prosper. It's about your life. It's about your business. It's about whatever you decide prosperity is to you. excuse me, you define it and you then go learn to do it, but you get some real life examples of how you could do it too. So if you're interested in this, I am starting this on the 25th of July, this class, and I want you to look into it, please. And I'm putting the link in the feed of the, hopefully I am, it looks, I don't know, I don't see it there. I'm going to put the link in the feed of this, this presentation right now for you to go check into it. If you type in the code real estate into the when you go to buy this plan, you will get 3 months absolutely free. This is a 6-month commitment. You can do a 3-month commitment, but I'm going to give you 3 months for the 6 months for the price of 3. So for $2,800, think about this investment. $2,800, you get 6 months of me, 6 months of masterminding, 6 months of learning how to do this kind of stuff with real estate, with investing money, with money magic, with creating your magic, coaching, masterminding, finding true prosperity. If I was to tell you you could have everything and millions and you would need to write me a check for $2,800, I bet you would do it. And that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm not going to stop giving these presentations and giving this information because I really want you to have it, you know, whatever you decide. But I do know that when you sign on for yourself and you become signed on and make a decision about this is right for you, that the world turns, the universe turns, the energy turns. If you're listening to me today and you know what the heck, you know, I know what the heck I'm talking about, and you're feeling the nudge, please go follow the nudge. Go look into the Prosper program. Go set up an appointment to talk to me. All you got to do is go to my calendar and set one up with me, paulabcoaching.com. I'm putting that in the feed. I'll put this in the Facebook feed when I get done speaking. Please sign on for your life and your prosperity. Please sign on for these kind of opportunities. If this is feeling right to you, if talking to me is feeling right to you, if being in my container, in my space is feeling right to you, and you think I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm talking about, and I can help you, please allow me to do that. Go check into the Prosper class. Thank you for signing in. I'm going to go live right now for just a few minutes, whoever wants to stay on and answer questions. So those of you that are on Zoom and have questions or have a statement or have something you want to ask, please unmute yourself and ask me, and I'll coach right now. I'll coach this real estate investing, but I also want you to go click on the Prosper link if you're feeling the nudge. All right, who can I coach? Who can I talk to? Do I have to call on somebody? You can always type it in too on the feed. And thank you for the note on the amazing dress, Vicki. I wonder where I got it. Vicki gave me this dress. Yeah, there's always a way. You get the way you want it, but you have to be clear about how you want it. All right, Janine, anything you want to say to us? All right. How about you, Marlene? What are you thinking about this? Do you have any questions? Lisa, how about you? What you want to tell us? What you got to ask? And for all of you that are on the feed right now, if you want to type in a question, I'm glad to answer. And I also appreciate so much you being here today and being in my container and listening to this presentation. Go check out the link. I'm going to put it in for you guys in just a minute. Check out Prosper. Sign on to Prosper more for yourself. Lisa, are you still on? Can you get on? I wonder if there's some kind of glitch going on here.
Yeah. Paula, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Hey, yeah, thank you. I think this was so informative, and you know, as you know, I am a real estate broker, so it's kind of interesting to me because it's a whole other side to see this investment side. So I learned a lot, and definitely going to take all of your steps, and we're really excited about doing this ourselves. So thank you. But yeah, no, great information, and you know, I think you're right about knowing, getting your team and just having everything. We're really excited about doing this ourselves. So thank you. But yeah, no, great information. And, you know, I think you're right about knowing, getting your team and just.
Hello, are you there? I think I've lost.
Hey, Paula, I'm here. I don't know what happened,
Okay,
but
that's
anyway,
weird.
thank you. Yeah, learned a ton. And as always, you're amazing and just so happy to be in your presence. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Lisa. Love being in your presence too. And Lisa is a great real estate agent. You're certainly welcome to contact her if you need some help in North Carolina. And Linda's leaving us and she says, I'm brilliant. Thank you. Please, everyone, sign on for your own prosperity. This is not, I'm not here to have you invest with me, or, you know, I do like that you like me, and I do like that I'm helpful, but I want to change your mindset about doing only one thing in one way. You can receive money today from many, many sources. You have to open your hands and open your eyes and open your soul really to different opportunities. Those of you who are walking around saying, I'm broke, I've always been broke, I've always been broke. You don't have to be that way. I've walked that walk and I know there's different ideas. And also some of you are saying, well, gee, I don't know if this is my purpose. I'm waiting for my purpose to come to me. And, you know, we have many gifts and talents. And sometimes some of us are multi-purpose, multi-dimensional. I am. And just waiting until that one thing occurs, you're hurting the world. You're not giving your gifts out there if you're sitting back. So that's really what this is all about for me. And thank you for saying I'm brilliant. And thank you for being here, Lisa, and everyone else. Please go check out the link on Prosper and look into creating your own prosperity plan and figuring out how to go into your own, you know, highest self, your highest place, what you've always wanted, because you can have it, and you can have it in a minute, a blue minute. All right, anybody else? Final comments? Marlena. Vicki signed back on, so I'm not sure if she wanted to say something. Yeah, I don't know if there's some kind of glitch and people can't unmute. Did you want to say something, Vicki? I think we've got a bunch of, yeah. Vicki wanted to say something, but I don't know if it's glitching out or what's going on here today. So apparently it's the universe telling me that, you know, all right. Vicki's trying to send me a note in the back channel here. Yeah, it won't unmute. It's so weird. I don't know what the universe is doing today. We'll just have to accept it. Yeah, it's so weird. All right, well, I'm sorry I don't get to talk to you all, that we can't unmute you all. Thank you all for being here today. You will receive a copy of the replay. It will also be on the feed on the my coaching page, which is the $1 Million Maker coaching page, and you can tune in there. And we'll have the next thing in a few weeks. I'm going to keep talking about this real estate thing if you want to. Does anybody want to do this again? Anybody interested? Say me if you're interested in this, if you're on the feed. If you want to hear more, if I can tell you the next section, or we can talk about doing a budget, anything like that. And I'm going to keep talking about things that bring you prosperity, like how do you get more clients? How do you do those kind of things? So we'll definitely talk about that. And thank you all so very much. So much love. I'm on my way to Guatemala. I'm going to let you know, I'll do some live feeds from Guatemala. And when I'm looking at properties there, I'll let you know that. Please stay in my space, in my container. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for you being with me today. God bless.